I just got finished with my trial, and I heard within seconds, literally as soon as I clicked exit out of that trial, I had a Skype message telling me I had passed. So I wanted to share with you guys a couple of tips on how to pass that trial class with Magic Ears. First thing that they are looking for is definitely going to be your teaching personality. Are you high energy? Are you having fun? Are you engaging to the students? These are going to be really important to get those students, interested in the class and enjoying Magic Ears. So that's going to be your number one. Make sure your personality comes through. Make sure you're engaging. Make sure you have a lot of energy when you're talking with those kids throughout the class. Second thing they're going to be looking for is, can you use the platform? So Magic Ears has a lot of great features in it for teachers to use during the class. They want to see that you can use them. So they're going to be looking for whether you're able to use that 1v1 function. That's where you get to pull the student down and have some conversation with them, or pull the student up and have some conversations with them. We have a 1v1 mode, and they also now have a 1 versus 4 mode, so you can pull all the students up onto the screen. But they're definitely going to be looking with, can you handle that function? The other things they're going to be looking for are you able to mute the students and turn on and off their pens? So you can mute them, you can turn on and off their pens for different slides. So they're going to be looking to see if you can handle using all those different functions of their portal. You're also going to be looking to make sure you're giving those trophies. So you can reward the students trophies throughout the class. So they're going to want to make sure that you're giving those trophies to the students. You want to give about 6 to 8 trophies throughout the class. So definitely what I did was I went through and planned kind of what slides I thought I was going to give trophies on, both individually for the students and then also a couple for the group. You can give them individually or you can give them to everyone at the same time. So I went through, I kind of planned on my slides. Okay, I'm going to probably give a trophy here, probably give a trophy here, so that by the end we had 6 to 8 trophies in the classroom. You do not want to have a greater difference than 2 trophies per student. So I don't want to have someone with 3 trophies and somebody with 8. You want to try and keep it around, no more than 2 for each of the students different. The other thing they're looking for is your classroom environment. So do you have your lighting on point? Is your background, nice and clean? Is it quiet? You want to be in a quiet space, not any background noise, no family members talking, dogs, cats making noise. You want a quiet environment. And then they're going to be looking to make sure you use at least 2 props. So don't forget your props. At least 2 you need for the lesson. Get them, have them there ready to go. More is great, but at least 2 that are relevant to that lesson. So before the class starts, you want to make sure, number 1, that you sign into the class at least 10 minutes beforehand. So you will see on your portal that about 10 minutes before the class, your classroom will have a join button. So you can go into the classroom. You do not have to turn on your camera or your microphone. You can leave those turned off, but you want to enter at least 10 minutes beforehand so that they know you're there and you're ready to go. There will be a timer in the top of that classroom. You want to pay attention to that timer. When you see that the timer gets to 30 seconds before class, you want to start class. This is so that, with any kind of lag or technology type situation, that the class is definitely starting on time. So the first thing you're going to do in that trial class is the greeting. Hi, my name's Brad. Welcome to Magic Ears. You're going to want to use that 1v1 function and pull the students up and greet them individually. Something simple, what's your name? Get them to say their name. If they're a higher level student, you might ask a question, but you want to keep that section short. So 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes total for that greeting section. We don't want it eating up a lot of our time in class. We have a lot to get through. So make sure each student has a chance to kind of individually talk to you in that 1v1 function before you move on. This is a great time to give one of those trophies. So individual trophies when you're doing that greeting, you want to give out during that time as well. If you're teaching one of the younger level classes, you're going to have alphabet, A, B, C. When you're teaching those big and little letters, you want to make sure you're using your TPR. Big P, little p. Make sure you're using your TPR during that portion. Get the students to repeat that letter. I always think this is a great time to try and get the students to do something with you. So if I make a big P, I might try and get the students to make a big P or a little p. But definitely get them repeating that letter. Use those gestures, big and little. You may have a chant with me slide. This is a sentence type chant that we want the students to repeat. So make sure you break it down for them. We don't want to do the whole big long chant all at once. So break it down into sections, P, P, P. P is for pig. There will probably be an audio. So if there's an audio, you want to play the song or the chant and have the students listen to it. Whenever you're playing a video or the audio, you want to make sure that you're moving around, you're having fun. You know, P, 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 woo, P is for pig. You want to make sure the students are having fun during it. So you don't have to say the words or sing along, but you do want to be moving around. The kids really loved that. On the Let's Read slides, you're going to have some keywords. You want to make sure you're circling those keywords, having the students repeat the word. Make sure you're speaking slowly. When you're wanting them to repeat a word, you know, get closer to the camera, make sure they're really seeing, you know, the word dinner. Dinner. Make sure they have that opportunity to see the word, speak it slowly. Lots of times after the Let's Read portion, you will have a practice slide. So this is another chance where you get to bring the students up 1v1, practice with them, make sure their pronunciation is on point. Make sure they're pronouncing it correctly. Have them do it a couple of times. Slow down your speech. Really make them focus on, you know, the way your mouth is moving so that they can get those sounds correctly for those words. Again, that 1v1 time is a great time to give one of those trophies, reward the student for doing a great job. During the read together, you're going to see some longer sentences, some words. We want to make sure we're using our pen function, so we're circling the words, having them repeat. We're underlining the sentences, having them repeat. Again, this is a great time. You can bring those students up onto the screen individually. It doesn't have to be in the 1v1 mode. You can just bring them up to the screen and maybe have them practice saying some of those sentences together, or with you. You can pull your screen down. Again, show them you know how to use the functions of their portal. That's going to be really important. Around 20 minutes, you want to get to that game. Let's play. There's going to be a game for the students. So you want to get there around 20 minutes. Make sure you're encouraging students to use whole sentences, especially during this game time. If they're supposed to be, you know, identifying the different target vocabulary or things that we've learned throughout the lesson, have them use sentences. You know, I want some fish for dinner, or whatever their target vocabulary is. Have them get those sentences in as they're going throughout that game. At the end of the lesson, you're going to have a review page. So you want to make sure that you have give the students some review. So you're going to have the vocabulary words or the sentences that they've learned or the letter that they've learned throughout that class. So make sure you use that time to review. Keep an eye on that clock, okay? So if you have, 2 minutes left, spend a little extra time on the review. If you've got 30 seconds left, maybe it's going to be a quick review. Very last thing we're going to want to do is obviously say goodbye. Again, great time to do a one-on-one mode to say goodbye to the students, or maybe utilize that 1-on-4 mode so that everyone can say goodbye. Make sure they all have those 6 to 8 trophies at the end of that class. If you need to give another one there at the end, that's a great time to do it as well. You cannot leave the classroom before 25 minutes. Don't leave. Don't do it. You have to get to that 25 minutes. You can look at that timer at the top. Make sure you get to 25 minutes. You could have some of the vocabulary words printed on some flashcards. I use sitewords.com. You can just put in the words you want and make flashcards. You could put some of those words from the lesson on a flashcard and have the students go over some of those. You could extend the lesson, what color is the carrot? You could ask them some questions. Cindy, what do you want for dinner? I want cake. Me too, Cindy. Me too. So you can try and extend the class if you have a little extra time, or if you're running short on time, quickly go through those goodbyes. And you can exit that classroom at that 25-minute point. You want to make sure, overall, bottom line, you have a lot of passion when you're teaching. They want to see a passionate teacher, an energetic teacher. They want the kids to have fun. Obviously, we want them to come back to Magic Ears. They're not going to want to come back if you're boring. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to come back. So we want to make sure that we are bringing them back. So lots of energy, show that personality as you go through. You also want to watch out. There's a 0 tolerance policy for noise. So you've got all the different students. You have your 1 to 4 students in your classroom. If there's a lot of noise for one of the students in the background, you want to mute them. There's a help button. You can click on the help button and let the Magic Ears know, hey, Cindy's got a lot of noise going on in the background. You mute Cindy. Let Magic Ears try and get that figured out, solve that problem so that you can unmute her. Make sure that you still bring Cindy up for those one-on-ones. So you still want Cindy to come on up for the one-on-one, unmute her so that she can have that practice, and then you can put her back down and mute her again if the noise is still going on in the background. But zero noise tolerance policy, we want to make sure all the students are getting what they're paying for, and so that they can hear you and hear the classroom, because that's what they're there for. So those are my tips for passing your trial on the first time. If you have to do 2 trials, no problem. 2 trials, you're going to get that practice. You can practice again. It takes a little bit, but I definitely recommend you're going to have a preview of your classroom about 24 hours ahead of time. Go in there, practice, try and work out your timing. Make sure you know exactly kind of what time you want to hit for those different slides so that it'll keep you on track. You're also going to get your go through before your trial. So make sure you utilize that person. The person who did my go through was wonderful. They were able to walk me through kind of what I'm going to be seeing in the different levels, what went through and practiced the different functions. So make sure you utilize that time. Make sure you understand, ask them questions, make sure you know how to use each of those functions, because that's going to be really important when you get to that trial. So those are my tips for passing your trial with Magic Ears. If you have any questions, if you want help throughout this process, feel free to use my referral link down below. Subscribe, like to our videos so that you can get some more tips as we go here through this process. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope you pass your trial too. Woo! Welcome to Magic Ears. Feel free to contact me if you want any help. If you want me to mentor you through this process, use that link below. Send me a message. Let me know. I'm happy to help you out. Hope you get hired too. Yay, Magic Ears. Bye, guys. Have a great day.